Manifest miraculous wealth in 7 minutes. Sacred meditation for divine healing and block removal. In the sleepy town of Willowsbrook, whispers of miracles spun like golden threads through the air, a community bound by faith and the promise of divine favor. Emma, a devoted mother and church volunteer, was both the heart and soul of this little haven. Every Sunday, under the grand stained glass, she would hum quietly with the congregation, her soul yearning for the grace of Saint Joseph, their patron saint known for guiding families through lean times. But everything changed when her husband, Paul, lost his job abruptly, like a thief in the night, stealing their peace and stability. Days turned to weeks, each tick of the clock heavy under the weight of bills accumulating like autumn leaves at their doorstep. Despair knotted in Emma's heart. It threatened to extinguish the flame of hope. Yet, as if in answer to her silent prayers, she stumbled upon a pamphlet. Its title glimmered in gold. Manifest Miraculous Wealth in 7 minutes. Emma's pulse quickened. Could this be the answer? Beneath the soft flicker of a candle, Emma lit one for Saint Joseph, her heart vibrating with urgency. "Guide us," she whispered, watching the flame dance, the light bending and fluttering as though alive. That evening, she gathered her children around the dining table, the weary tension dissipating like mist under a rising sun. Fresh curiosity filled the room as she introduced them to this sacred meditation. "Only 7 minutes," she promised, "to unlock divine abundance." As the minutes slipped away, she guided them through breathing exercises, their minds racing with questions yet to be asked. The air thickened with expectancy. Warm, comforting light enveloped them. In their shared silence, Emma felt roots of despair loosening, hope weaving itself tightly into their hearts. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But as the days fluttered by, Emma felt winds of doubt whip through her spirit. A close friend, Lucy, asked pointedly, "Emma, can meditation really solve your financial troubles? Isn't that a bit far-fetched?" Anxiety gripped Emma, the shadows of disbelief creeping into her heart. Was she grasping at straws? Despite her fears, the divine pull remained strong. In moments of deep meditation, Emma uncovered emotional barriers built by previous hardships. Each revelation felt like light breaking into darkness. The blocks of their financial stagnation crumbled as her family transformed their apprehension into faith. One fateful evening at the church fundraiser, laughter rang through the old stone building. Yet Emma felt the gravity of their circumstances weighing heavily on her. Just as she grappled with desperation, an unexpected donation rolled in. A staggering gift, a tangible sign that they were not alone. Breathless, she stood before the community, her heart bursting with gratitude. As word spread about Emma's experience, the townsfolk rallied, their faith blossoming into a collective movement of divine generosity. But the day brought murmurs of more miracles waiting to unfold. What challenges lay ahead? Emma clutched her chest, heart racing, as the hope she had rekindled now flickered like the candle's flame, waiting for the next sign from above. The days that followed felt like walking through a tapestry of divine possibility. Emma breathed in the warmth of her community, each encounter filling her spirit with renewed energy. She held tightly to hope, now shimmering brighter than ever before. Yet still, shadows woven with uncertainty lingered at the edges of her mind. Was this newfound warmth merely the effects of temporary kindness, or was it a manifestation of something much greater? One evening, as twilight settled over Willowsbrook, Emma settled into her usual meditation. The flickering candle illuminated the room with a soft glow, casting dancing shadows that seemed to whisper secrets from the universe. She closed her eyes and began the deep, rhythmic breathing that had anchored her spirit. With each breath, she focused on the loving guidance of Saint Joseph, picturing him standing by her side, a steadfast pillar of support against the storms of doubt. "Show me the way," she breathed softly. Each exhale felt lighter, as if her worries were fluttering away on the wind. Suddenly, a blanket of calm wrapped around her, his presence tangible in the sacred silence. With her heart open, Emma envisioned her family, their laughter ringing like joyful bells. She spoke gratitude for the unexpected blessing that had arrived on their doorstep, and she asked for guidance on how to truly manifest abundance. In the stillness, a gentle urging began to unfold, a pull towards deeper connection, not just with her family, but with the entire community. Emma felt called to empower others to find the same miracle within themselves. The realization washed over her like a wave of divine light. She envisioned gatherings, meditation circles where others could come together to share their burdens and cultivate faith. The following Sunday, after the service, she approached Pastor Thomas. "What if we held weekly meditation sessions, a sacred space for our community to explore together?" she proposed, her voice trembling with hope and trepidation. Pastor Thomas paused, considering her words. "I believe in the power of unity in prayer, Emma," he finally replied, his deep eyes sparkling. "If it brings people together to reflect on faith, let's do it." That week, with the pastor's blessing, they set up the first meditation circle. The church's basement transformed into a sanctuary, adorned with candles and soft cushions. Emma welcomed each newcomer with open arms, her heart brimming with love. As they gathered, she felt a palpable energy unfolding, stronger than any single prayer. Each shared moment, stories of struggle, laughter intertwined with tears, renewed hope, worked like a balm on wounded hearts. Emma guided them through the meditation, each session growing more profound than the last, filled with revelations and, at times, unexpected divine clarity. New relationships blossomed, prayers united, and gradually, the community began to recognize the magic within themselves. Yet, as miracles began to arise, so did challenges. One evening, as they shared their commitments to manifesting abundance, a storm of doubt split through the atmosphere like thunder. A neighbor voiced fears about losing their home. Another spoke of illness looming over a loved one. Was their newfound unity enough to dampen the weight of these looming shadows? Emma felt the tension in the room. This was the moment her faith would be tested. She closed her eyes, tuning into the divine source that had guided her thus far. "Let us remember," she said softly, "that even in the darkest storms, the light of our collective faith can guide us through." A silence enveloped the space as hearts leaned in, ready to reflect on their journey. But the question lingered heavy in the air. Was their collective faith powerful enough to manifest even greater miracles when faced with such daunting challenges? Emma's heart raced, realizing this was only the beginning of their remarkable journey. The next gathering arrived, infused with an electric anticipation. The whispers of doubt still echoed, but resolve shone brighter among the attendees. Emma sensed an unspoken understanding. They were no longer just individuals sharing burdens. They were becoming a collective, bound by a shared desire for transformative faith. As she entered the basement, a soft breeze seemed to greet her, rustling the fabric of hope that enveloped the room. Candles flickered, casting warm, dancing shadows upon the faces eager to share their stories and connect. Emma took her place at the front, where a makeshift altar stood adorned with flowers and prayer cards, symbols of their commitment to healing and growth. Tonight, she decided, they would dive deeper. "We come together in unity," she began, her voice steady yet tender. "We share not just our fears but our dreams. Let us manifest abundance through not only intention, but also gratitude." She felt the energy rise as they nodded, an unbroken chain of hearts growing more connected with each word. Emma led them into a focused meditation, inviting everyone to close their eyes and breathe deeply. Inhale peace and exhale doubt. With each cycle of breath, she encouraged them to visualize not just what they sought to gain, but who they wished to become. Picture your hearts as vessels overflowing with divine light, she continued softly. As she guided them, Emma felt an undeniable shift, a current of divine energy surging through the room. Words morphed into a radiant tapestry of hope, despair, and faith interwoven. She sensed the hesitant hearts begin to open, like flowers turning towards the sun. Suddenly, a voice broke through the stillness, a hesitant whisper from Kid, a young man known for his struggles. What if we're not worthy of this abundance? What if we're chasing shadows? His words fell heavy in the air, a reminder of the very doubts they sought to dispel. Emma paused, letting the question hang in the space like a delicate thread. The murmurs that followed revealed a chorus of unvoiced insecurities. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their collective vulnerability. "We are all worthy," she responded, her voice low but full of conviction. "Our history does not define our future. We are children of the divine. The very fabric of hope is stitched with belief." A ripple of acknowledgement swept through the gathering. They began to share intimate truths, longings held close to their hearts, failures that echoed in their minds, and moments of grace that had transformed their lives. The stories flowed like a stream, vibrant and life-giving. As each story unfolded, Emma felt the atmosphere charge with revelation. One by one, they recounted moments when seemingly insurmountable obstacles melted away through faith. A story of a job offer after months of searching, a cancer diagnosis met with unexpected healing, and the reconnection of estranged family, all testimonials of the miraculous. In that sacred moment, she realized something profound. It was through their shared struggles that they could witness miracles. Each challenge became a call to engage deeper with the divine, an invitation to cultivate faith that transcends fear. As the evening drew to a close, Emma urged them to commit to their divine possibilities. "Let us return next week stronger. Let us hold on to the light we've ignited, even in storms that may come." And then, just as she felt the night's warmth settle, her heart shuddered with an epiphany. "What if," she mused aloud, "our greatest challenge is not in facing doubt, but in embodying the miracles we seek?" A hush fell over the group as they absorbed her words. What came next would not merely be a test of faith, but an exploration of radical transformation. The seeds have been sown, but how would they tend to this growing garden of hope? Emma could barely contain her excitement, the dawning realization blooming within her. The path ahead was not defined, but one truth emerged clear. Faith was not just a feeling, it was a call to act. With hearts aligned, they were ready to explore the divine mysteries that awaited just beyond their next shared gathering. The following week came like a whisper of promise. Emma felt the energy in the air crackling before she even stepped into the basement. As she entered, the familiar warmth wrapped around her, drawing her into the embrace of shared purpose. The candles had been lit again, a flickering choir of light welcoming back the souls who gathered seeking transformation. This time, she could sense something different. A collective eagerness hung in the atmosphere, potent like the first scent of rain on dry earth. Many participants arrived with the weight of expectation, having pondered their paths since the last meeting. Emma took her place at the front, where the altar now glimmered with not just flowers and prayer cards, but small tokens of personal significance. A stone, a bracelet, a picture, remnants of dreams each person cherished. "Tonight," she began, looking into the eyes of her friends, "we explore the divine within us. Let's lift up our voices and declare worthiness together." A wave of nods rippled through the group. They seemed all too ready to awaken the riches of the Spirit. Emma guided them into a moment of stillness. "Take a deep breath in, and hold this moment of grace. Exhale out unworthiness. As she spoke, she felt a serene authority settle over her, a gentle stirring of the spirit among them. Tonight, our meditation will focus on manifesting what is rightfully ours, the joy, the peace, the miraculous abundance. With everyone's eyes closed and hearts open, Emma led them into visualization. Picture yourself surrounded by golden light. Imagine it pouring into you, filling every crevice of your being. You are worthy. You are whole. As she led them deeper into this sacred space, whispers of uncertainty began to unfurl like petals in the morning sun. Faces softened. Breaths became deeper. Amidst the silence, Emma could almost hear their hearts aligning, a rhythm of faith emerging. Suddenly, a voice ventured forth. This time, it was Clara, a mother who had experienced turbulence in her life. But what if our dreams are just illusions? What if we fail to reach them again? Her question hung in the air, a reminder of the human condition. Emma opened her eyes, firmly meeting Clara's gaze. What if, she countered gently, this moment is the first step into a world of possibilities? Faith does not mean the absence of doubt. It means taking that first leap despite it. Encouragement rippled through the group. And just like that, more stories came. Each narrative laced with vulnerability. One member spoke of waiting years to heal from loss. Another felt the shame of choices made in desperation. They shared moments when faith felt flimsy, yet the divine had interceded in unexpected ways. As these testimonials emerged, Emma witnessed wounds being tendered. The atmosphere thickened with healing vibrations. Each story peeled back layers, revealing an undeniable truth. The more they shared their trials, the more they invited divine grace into their lives. Here, tonight, we weave together our challenges, just as Jesus wove the broken and the lost into his love, Emma declared, her heart swelling with joy. As the meeting neared its close, she encouraged the group again, urging them to lift up their dreams into the light. Visualize your greatest desire saturated in that golden light. Let's embody that abundance. Let's claim it. The energy pulsed around them, hearts connecting deeper, filled with hope and anticipation. Emma's own heart raced as she envisioned the miraculous wealth of experiences waiting for them. Before they dispersed, she asked, "Next week, would you be willing to share not just what you seek, but what you've discovered about yourselves? When we manifest this joyful wealth together, miracles flow faster than we can imagine. But are we ready to embrace that journey?" Silence fell again, pregnant with possibility. What hidden treasures awaited them on that next path? Would they dare to act on their faith and find the miracles that lingered just out of sight? Emma felt eager anticipation surging within her. The journey had only just begun. The week that followed was a whirl of excitement and hushed anticipation. Emma found herself reflecting on the last gathering, replaying Clara's words in her mind. The echoes reminded her of the beauty and weight of doubt, a struggle so universal. Hope flickered like the candlelight in her heart as she prepared for the evening ahead. As she entered the basement that night, the familiar warmth washed over her yet again. This time, however, tendrils of urgency laced the air, igniting a spark within the group. The candles were lit anew, casting a golden glow that danced upon the subtle offerings laid on the altar, emblems of faith, prayers whispered into being. "Welcome back, friends," Emma began, her heart soon matching the exuberant energy pooling around them. "Tonight, we stand together to uncover deeper truths about ourselves. We are here to shed the old and embrace the new, to create a sacred space for healing." A collective murmur surged through the gathering. Hope intertwined with the warm light, wrapping around each heart in the room. Emma noticed the familiar faces, but also a few new arrivals, their eyes wide with hope and curiosity. With a nod of encouragement, she invited them into stillness once more. "Let's breathe together. Inhale the light. Exhale the shadows. The room synchronized into a gentle rhythm, their breaths weaving together like delicate threads in a tapestry of faith. Emma guided them gently into visualization. Envision a river of healing cascading down, washing over you. Feel it flowing through your spirit, clearing away doubt, illuminating your path. As she spoke, she sensed the collective heartbeat, a drum of anticipation assembling as truths began to rise to the surface. In that sacred silence, another voice emerged. This time it was Michael, a man in his 40s with lines of weariness etched upon his face. But what if we don't sense the river? What if it's all just a mirage? His doubt seemed to ripple through the group, bringing a brief hush of tension. Emma inhaled deeply, connecting with Michael's vulnerability. What if this moment reveals to you that the river has always been flowing? Her voice was filled with conviction. Sometimes, it takes our surrender to the divine to feel its embrace. God's love is never out of reach. Encouragement woven, she turned to the others. Let's remember that faith doesn't require certainty. More stories emerged like blossoms after a storm. Members shared their battles. One expressed her struggle with feeling unlovable. Another spoke of dreams that felt perpetually out of reach. With each narrative, Emma felt the walls around each heart crumbling, healing waters pooling at their feet. By sharing our struggles, she declared, we create a bridge for God's grace to flow to us. A wave of unity enveloped them, hearts weaving together beyond their individual challenges, nestled in the warm embrace of divine connection. Near the end, Emma encouraged each person to hold their deepest desires close. Visualize not just what you seek, but also the truth you are discovering. Feel the transformation coursing through you. As they drew near to the close of the night, Emma felt an undeniable shift in the energy. It was as though something powerful had shifted in the spirit. She invited them to keep their hearts open to the miracles waiting on the horizon. Are we ready to explore this new territory together? Will we embrace the journey ahead? A resonating yes echoed back from the group, igniting a flame of shared anticipation. Emma smiled, her spirit buoyed. Yet beneath her joy lingered a quiet question that teased her heart. What tragedies would unfold into triumphs in the days to come? Would the river of healing reveal depths unimagined, and would they have the courage to plunge deeper into its embrace? As the candles flickered down, she could feel the Boundless One preparing to unveil a more profound mystery. What awaited their journey now? The following week, anticipation hung in the air like the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Emma felt a gentle stirring within her spirit as the day of the next gathering approached. She sensed the Holy Spirit whispering promises of abundance, healing, and transformation, coaxing her to embrace this unfolding journey with courage. As she arrived at the familiar basement, something seemed different. The atmosphere shimmered with an electric energy, a palpable sense of expectancy that enveloped each soul present. It was as if the very air vibrated, infused with resonant hope and the desire for divine engagement. Welcome, dear friends, Emma greeted, her voice buoyant with spiritual excitement. Tonight, we set our intentions for miraculous wealth of the Spirit and treasures within our hearts. Let us clear the path that separates us from our abundance. A ripple of vibrancy flowed through the group, eyes brightening as they absorbed her words. Emma invited everyone into stillness, encouraging them to close their eyes and focus inward. Inhale. Let the richness of life fill you. Exhale, releasing all doubts and fears. The room breathed harmoniously, united in purpose, and a tender quietude settled like a warm blanket upon their shoulders. Picture a garden, Emma continued, guiding their thoughts. A garden where your dreams are planted with care. Feel the soil beneath your feet, rich and nourishing. Each seed represents your hopes and desires. What blooms forth when we nurture them with faith? What miracles await? A sense of eager anticipation unfurled within the group. Emma sensed the ground of their hearts preparing for sacred renewal. Suddenly, Molly, a gentle soul with a fierce spirit, spoke up. But what if past failures overshadow our dreams? How do we overcome that grief? Emma's heart warmed at the question. Molly, our past does not define our future. Each moment is an invitation for God's love to mend the broken pieces and create something beautiful. It's in our surrender where we find strength. The sincerity in her tone resonated, a comforting embrace for all listening. As stories of dreams and wounds began to emerge, Emma felt the spirit weaving through their narratives like threads in a masterful tapestry. We collect these threads together. Every struggle is precious and has purpose. God is crafting a magnificent masterpiece through us. Spontaneously, a wave of sharing swept through the group. Eager voices joined the chorus, speaking of fears, passions, and unrealized dreams. Laughter punctured the heaviness, easing the burdens held too long. Emma felt how each truth unveiled healed parts of their hearts and drew them closer to one another. Let us affirm this moment, she encouraged, letting God's grace flow as we focus on manifesting His incredible abundance. Repeat after me. I am open to receive the overflow of blessings in my life. The echoes of their voices mingled with sacred energy, weaving together declarations of faith. As the gathering reached its climax, Emma sensed an overwhelming wave of divine love surging through the room, wrapping each person in peace. Hold on to this moment. There is power in your belief. Together, let us plant these seeds of hope and allow them to thrive. The energy in the room ignited a passion that felt alive, vibrant, a divine spark kindled by shared faith. Faces glowed with joy, spirits uplifted, and hands clasped in unity. As the evening edged toward quiet conclusion, Emma knew this was merely the beginning of their journey into the miraculous. Friends, she concluded, her heart swelling, we stand at the precipice of greatness, waiting for the dawn of our transformations. Are we willing to trust in the unfolding of God's perfect timing? A resolute chorus of yes swelled again, this time echoing even deeper. With the candlelight flickering dimmer, Emma could feel the thrust of the Spirit propelling them forward. What barriers would crumble under the weight of faith? What treasures would emerge from their obedient surrender? The landscape of their hearts beckoned, rich with promise, and deeper mysteries yet lay ahead. Would they dare to plunge into the depths that awaited? As the atmosphere settled, a sacred stillness enveloped the group. Emma looked around, her heart brimming with anticipation. The air felt electric, charged with the possibilities that lay ahead. Deep within, she sensed the Spirit preparing to reveal deeper truths, ones that would lead to profound healing and breakthroughs. Tonight, we'll dive even deeper into our faith, Emma proclaimed, her voice steady and filled with conviction. We will immerse ourselves in a meditation, a sacred time of letting go and opening up to God's abundant blessings. Molly, still buzzing from their earlier exchanges, raised her hand again, a flicker of curiosity lighting her eyes. What if we can't find the right words to pray? How do we express our deepest needs? Emma smiled gently, acknowledging the vulnerability behind Molly's question. Prayer is simply a conversation with God. It doesn't require fancy words or perfect understanding. It's about coming as you are, opening your heart, and trusting that God knows your needs far better than you do. With that reassurance, Emma led them in a moment of silence, encouraging everyone to close their eyes once more. The flickering candles cast soft shadows, creating an intimate circle that felt as if they were enveloped by God's arms. Breathe deeply, Emma instructed. Inhale the goodness of God. Hold it close. Now exhale all your worries and fears. Let them drift away. The stillness deepened as they breathed in rhythm together, each exhalation feeling lighter, as if burdens were being lifted from their shoulders. Emma could sense the shift in the room. The hearts were opening, walls were beginning to crumble, and hope rippled like gentle waves. Now, envision a light, Emma instructed, her voice a soothing balm. a brilliant light filled with His love. Let it fill you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Each ray of this light carries healing for your past wounds, nourishment for your weary spirit, and strength for your present challenges. As she spoke, the energy in the room transformed. Souls began to feel the warmth of that divine light. Emma watched as tears glistened in the eyes of some, a release of long-held pain and an embrace of newfound peace. "Friends, now let us plant our seeds of intention," she said, her voice rising with fervor. "What do we desire to manifest in our lives? Speak them quietly in your heart. Let God hear your dreams, your hopes." Soft whispers began to fill the space, heartfelt requests intertwining with the gentle hum of faith. Stories of healing emerged. Some desired freedom from addiction, while others yearned for relationships restored. Each wish was a petal in the blooming garden they had visualized earlier, each one kissed by divine grace. "Let us take a moment now," Emma encouraged, "to ask for God's guidance. What barriers stand between you and your abundance? Release them into that light. Open your heart to receive clarity on what needs to shift." As they surrendered their fears, a powerful stillness settled among them, each breath pulling them deeper into connection with the divine. An inexplicable peace washed over Emma, grounding her in the knowledge that God was faithful. Feel the strength of community around you, interconnected by love and shared hopes. "We are not alone in this journey," she reminded them. "Together, we lift one another toward the fullness of God's promises." At that moment, the room resonated with a collective heart, the power of their unity drawing them closer to the miraculous. Emma's soul soared with expectation, ready for transformation. Yet a quiet intrigue tugged at her heart, suggesting that the greatest treasures awaited beyond their current understanding. "What might God be preparing for us?" she pondered aloud, looking around the faces filled with hope. "What awaits us when we trust Him completely?" And in that sacred silence, under the flicker of candlelight, the answer hovered just beyond reach, beckoning exploration into the depths of His divine plan. As the stillness enveloped them, Emma felt a divine pull in the atmosphere, thickening with promises yet unveiled. Each individual was cloaked in their own thoughts, yet bound together by a profound connection to something greater. Emma opened her eyes and could see the glow of anticipation mirrored in her friends' faces, as if they each held a secret they were longing to share. "Now let us move into a deeper space of communion," Emma gently encouraged. "Let's open our hearts and allow the Holy Spirit to guide our prayers. Trust that He hears us, even in the silence." A hush fell once more as she extended her hands, palms upward, inviting them to do the same. The flicker of candles whispered hope, illuminating their faces like angels in the night. "Imagine all your burdens lifted," she prompted softly. "Visualize them being transformed into feathers, light and free. Let them rise high to the heavens." Molly closed her eyes tightly, feeling the warmth radiating from the group. "What if we feel unworthy?" she whispered, the vulnerability returning to her voice. "Ah, dear Molly," Emma replied, her heart aching with understanding. "That is the beauty of grace. Not one of us is ever truly unworthy. In our imperfections, His love shines brighter. Remember, it's His strength that carries us." With each word, tears of release flowed freely. The sound of muffled sobs blended with gentle whispers of confessions, the fears, the failings, and the dreams that dared blossom. "Let every tear be a seed," Emma spoke fervently. "A seed that will blossom into abundance. A seed that invites His miracles into our lives." As they each focused inward, Emma could feel the air shift again. Hearts were opening like blossoms at dawn, releasing their skepticism to embrace what could be. Light danced around them, weaving through reflections of love. "Now, let's take one last moment in stillness," Emma encouraged, her voice steady. "Let us listen to what God speaks to our hearts. What does He want us to know? What truths await? Open yourself to his voice. Listen closely. In that moment of silence, a gust of wind swept through the room, causing the candle flames to flicker and sway. A low hum vibrated beneath the surface, a sound almost imperceptible but unmistakably sacred. Emma's heart raced. She sensed not only their presence, but the presence of something divine, interwoven with all their prayers and hopes. God is stirring something within us, she declared, her voice thick with emotion. Miraculous times are unfolding. Each of us holds a part of his plan. Are we ready to step into it? The collective response was a chorus of affirmations, exclamations rising like an echo through the ages, a thunderous declaration of readiness. Emma's spirit soared further, sensing an invisible barrier thinning, one that had kept them from experiencing true abundance. Now, friends, she continued, her tone climbing with fervor, let's share the visions filling our hearts. What has God placed before you? What dreams swell within, waiting to bloom? Voices flowed forth like a river, each sharing revelations and glimpses of what could be. Some envisioned families restored, while others felt the pull of new opportunities, jobs, passions, and healing. The diversity of dreams painted a picture of a community in alignment, unified in hope. Remember this moment, Emma urged, feeling the sacredness of the evening deepen. When doubts creep in, you can return here, to this light, this community, this trust in Him. For tonight is just the beginning. As they finished sharing, a tranquil stillness reclaimed the space. Each heart was beating in rhythm, echoing a dive into a journey of faith that was unfolding together. And yet, Emma felt a new sensation, a sense of urgency. What is my part in this? She wondered, her heart racing with curiosity. What new paths will be revealed as we step forward into this promise? With that question lingering in the air, Emma's excitement mingled with trepidation. The mysterious journey they were about to embark on promised transformation, but the unknown still beckoned. What divine surprises awaited them just around the corner? As they sat in the comforting stillness, Emma felt the presence of the Holy Spirit enveloping them all in a warm embrace. The flickering candlelight transformed the room into a sacred sanctuary, casting shadows that danced gently on the walls, guiding their spirits towards an awakening. Mysteries wait to be unveiled, she whispered, her voice a soft assurance. It was as though each word was a key, unlocking doors to deeper connections and greater understandings. They were all seekers, searching for healing, for purpose, for the light that would lead them home. Molly turned to Jenna, her eyes shimmering with a blend of uncertainty and hope. What if we're not ready? What if our spirits aren't prepared? Emma smiled at them both, a knowing smile that reflected her own fears transformed into faith. Sometimes it's in our trembling that we find our strength. God doesn't require us to be perfect, only willing. The group inhaled deeply, a collective breath that seemed to draw in divine energy. It flowed through them, lifting their fears with each exhale. Emma could almost see the shadows of doubt dissipating into the air, replaced by flickers of light, visions of futures ignited. Imagine, Emma proposed, a garden of dreams, each one waiting to blossom. What can we plant together in this moment? Encouragement flowed between them like a tide at high noon. One by one, hearts began to share their truths. I dream of healing, Jenna spoke, her voice trembling yet resolute. My father has been sick for far too long. I desire nothing more than to see him whole again. I wish for freedom, added Sam, his eyes wide. Freedom from the chains of regret, to step boldly into the life God has planned for me. As they shared, Emma sensed a divine current building, carrying their words upward, ascending to the heavens as gifts of faith. Each prayer is a jewel, she reminded, and together we are weaving a necklace of hope that shines brightly for the world to see. Suddenly, the hum that had coursed through the air changed. It spiraled into a familiar melody, faint yet powerful, throbbing like a heartbeat. Emma's heart quickened at the sound. This was the symphony of divine connection. "Listen," she urged, as they all fell silent, their hearts tuning into something bigger. "What is God saying? What truth does He wish us to discover?" As the room spiraled into stillness, she felt a flood of warmth wash over her. In that moment, she understood. Each one of them held pieces of the same divine puzzle. Together, they were being called into action. "Now, let's pray into this revelation," Emma encouraged, her spirit alight with anticipation. "Let us visualize our dreams in motion. Picture our desires already fulfilled, a tapestry of abundance woven through our faith." As they prayed, the air thickened with anticipation. It was as if they could feel the respond of the heavens. Light began to vibrate around them, an ethereal glow illuminating their faces, a sign of divine presence working around them. "What do we do next?" Molly wondered, her excitement palpable. "Ah, that's the question, isn't it?" Emma replied, the sparkle in her eyes strong with belief. "For if we take this step, God will guide our paths. He will reveal the doors we are meant to open." The group fell back into prayer, unified in their longing for healing and connection. Thoughts blended, hopes intertwined, as they poured their hearts out under the whispering moonlight. But amidst all the beautiful connection, a new thought struck Emma. What if the path ahead is more radical than any of us imagined? Her breath caught at the depth of this realization. As she opened her eyes, an undeniable truth filled her soul. The next step wasn't just for them individually, but as a united front, a collective faith breaking through barriers that had held them captive. What could that mean for their community? What radical transformation was waiting just beyond the horizon of their prayers? Emma's heart raced with the thrill of faith. What if this was the moment when everything changed? As the days flowed, like a river of faith through Willowsbrook, the air shimmered with the energy of divine possibilities. The meditation circles led by Emma transformed into a sanctuary, a safe place where hearts could unfurl like soft petals to the sun. Each gathering became a beacon of hope, a testament to their growing intimacy with God and with each other. The following week, as Emma prepared for yet another gathering, she felt an unusual surge of anticipation in her spirit. It was as if the heavens were communicating secrets waiting to be unveiled. She entered the basement, and the candlelit ambiance wrapped around her like a warm embrace, a reminder of the sacred space they had created together. "Welcome, beloved friends," Emma exclaimed, her voice alive with expectation. "Tonight, let's explore the depths of our faith. Let's unveil the radical potential within us, igniting the flames of hope for what is to come." Whispers of excitement danced in the air. Emotions swirled as each soul prepared to dive deeper into communion with one another and with God. The flickering lights seemed to twinkle down like stars, a gentle reminder of the divine presence surrounding them. Emma led them in stillness, inviting everyone to close their eyes and breathe deeply. Inhale the warmth of God's promises. Exhale the hesitations you hold. As her words resonated in the space, the tension that once wrapped around hearts loosened, setting them free to soar. "Tonight," Emma continued, "I want you to think of your dreams and the future you see before you. Hold those dreams tightly and know, by sharing them, we are making space for divine possibilities to take root." An empowering ripple filled the room as members began to voice their intentions. One by one, they poured out their hopes and prayers. Dreams of healing, love, opportunities, and redemption flowed freely. Emma felt an electric current of connection pulse through the gathering, a reminder that they were not alone in this journey. "I wish for my relationship with my mother to be healed," Clara shared. "I desire understanding and love between us." "I pray for my business to flourish," said Michael, his eyes shining with determination. "I want to help others through my work." As each prayer unfolded, Emma felt the fabric of their community knit tighter, interwoven with the threads of shared vulnerabilities, woven in faith and love. Each prayer is a promise, Emma reminded them, her spirit alight. As we lift them into the light, we open doors for miracles to flow into our lives. Let us trust that God hears each request. Suddenly, a stirring swept through the room, teasing at Emma's heart. It was as if the Spirit whispered, beckoning her to take a step further. "Friends," she said, her voice steady, "I believe we are called to act in faith. Let's not just visualize our reality. Let's commit to actions that align with our dreams. What can we do this week to manifest those prayers?" As the question hung in the air, a contemplative silence filled the space. Then slowly, ideas began to spark. "I could reach out to organizations that support healing," Clara suggested, her eyes lighting up. "I'll take steps to network and present my business," Michael added. Suddenly, Molly leaped up, her spirit bubbling with conviction. "Let's form a collective effort. What if we created a community project bringing everyone's dreams together? Helping one another could multiply our blessings." Emma's heart soared as she embraced the energy swirling among them. Yes, this was it, the answer to their questions, the strength found in unity. "Together we can multiply our gifts and hearts," Emma affirmed, the fire of excitement igniting in her. "Let's convene next week with our plans, made tangible, made real." With renewed vigor, they joined hands, lifting their voices in prayer, a chorus of gratitude surging upward. "Lord," Emma prayed fervently, "may we step into our dreams hand in hand, trusting that your plan is bigger than we can imagine." As the evening concluded, Emma felt an overwhelming wave of peace washing over her. This was only the beginning. The seeds of transformation had been sown, and now they were in motion. The light of divinity shone through them, revealing a brighter path ahead. As she left that night, the whispers of the Spirit continued to echo in her ears. Each step felt liberating, each breath a melody of hope. Emma realized they were not merely gathering, they were creating a renaissance of faith. Each individual had their role to play, and each community member would uncover miraculous gifts. The sacred journey had just begun, and as they embarked on this quest of manifesting divine abundance, Emma's heart danced with the promise of what was yet to unfold. The morning sun blazed with potential over Willowsbrook, casting a golden glow over the homes and streets, inviting new beginnings. Emma smiled, knowing they were on the cusp of a beautiful new chapter. But before she embraced the day, an urgent thought struck her. This was their moment of truth. If you believe in the power of faith to transform lives, you need to subscribe immediately to the channel. Don't miss the next exclusive stories of divine miracles. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Every click helps spread this light. Comment your reactions and testimonies about this journey. Your words can inspire others who seek faith, and share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. Don't wait even one more second. Join us in igniting the divine spark together. Every true servant of God understands the importance of supporting this message. Together, we can change lives.